Welcome to Podnutz Daily for December 23rd, 2008, episode number 127, not an episode. Episode. It is the 23rd. Okay, just making sure. Shows will... no show tomorrow, no show on Christmas, and then no shows until Monday of next week is what I'm going to do. Just want to let you guys know. We will resume shows on Monday the 29th, so that is the plan. That's the holiday schedule. iTunes. Customer came in. Said the Comcast guy came over. First of all, the customer brought their desktop in. We did a couple things on it, and then before we gave it back, they said, "Oh, one more thing. When I had it at home, the Comcast guy came over and did something on my computer, and when he left, no more. My iTunes weren't in the music folder anymore. I asked him what he did, and he said he didn't do anything. So she asked us if we could fix this. No problem. Music for iTunes is stored in a folder called iTunes Music, which is in your iTunes folder, which is in your My Music folder. That's the default location. If you look in your if you actually open iTunes and look at the iTunes library, and none of your songs that are in iTunes Music are there, you simply add them. You just add the whole folder. You go to File, I think in iTunes. My dad did this, so I'm not sure, and he figured it out. I got to give him credit. You go to File and then Add Folder, I think is under File on iTunes. Add the iTunes Music folder. Bam, they're all in there. That was an easy one. So that's what happened with that. Another computer we did, a Cronus I've been using today. This was tricky. I tried to clone a Vista laptop hard drive from a 160 gig hard drive to a 320 gig hard drive. I've done it before where you clone a small hard drive to a bigger one, no problems. But in this particular case, after I cloned it, I tried to boot. I put the new hard drive in. I tried to boot. It wouldn't boot to the new drive. So I said, okay, something must have went wrong. I re-cloned it. And here's how I cloned it. I had the original hard drive in the machine. I installed a Cronus on the original hard drive, set up the cloning procedure, attached the new hard drive, the destination drive. I attached that through a USB to SATA connector. Everything was fine. It recognized it. It cloned. Everything said successful even. So after it was done, I pulled the old hard drive out, put the destination drive in, and I could not boot from that destination drive. I did it twice. So I went to load a Cronus version 11 because I was using a Cronus version 10. And I said, let me just go online and see if anybody else is having this problem. As it turns out, a Cronus version 10 with Vista. I don't know if it happens in every situation, but it happened in this situation. If you clone the drive, and this is on laptop drives, I don't know if it happens for every drive. You clone the drive, you can't boot from that drive. It doesn't copy over, or it doesn't tell where the Win logon file is, or the Win root, whatever it's called, the Win file. It doesn't switch that. It doesn't copy that file over. So what you have to do is put in your Vista DVD, boot from the DVD. Choose repair my machine, repair my computer, instead of actually hitting the install button. Hit the repair my computer button when you get prompted for that. It will ask you if you want to repair startup repair my computer. I think it might bring up the little window where you can do a bunch of things like a system restore and all that kind of stuff. You actually want to repair the startup. I think it says repair computer, repair startup, or fix startup. Once you do that, it puts the files where they're supposed to be, so you can now boot from the Cronus drive. Okay, that's all fine and good. So now I could boot from the new drive. I cloned the drive, I could boot from it, fine. This drive also happened to have a recovery partition. And I'll talk about it a little bit later, but I'm at the point now with this computer where, even though I did clone it, the operating system's so messed up, even on the old hard drive, the one I cloned, I have to do a reinstall. So I tried to use a recovery partition on the drive that I cloned, and now I can't boot to the recovery partition, same problem, and it won't get fixed with the Vista thing, so it's messed up. I'll talk about why I have to do a whole recovery a little later. But one cool thing I did find out was you could use your Cronus disk as a boot disk. Or if you downloaded a Cronus, you could create a Cronus boot disk and actually run a Cronus from a bootable CD, which is pretty awesome. Next thing I want to talk about is Experts Exchange. It's a forum site. I don't know if you guys ever went to Experts Exchange. I used to hate it's expertsexchange.com. I used to hate Experts Exchange because I thought you had to pay to get the results. I'm sure you've seen it if you've done any surfing around on the net and looking at troubleshooting computers. Experts Exchange always seems to have somebody posting in the forum there the exact situation that I'm trying to solve. Like, they can relate exactly to me. I need to see the solution of what's happening with that thing that this person is asking. And so you scroll down to see the solution, and it says you have to pay to see the solution. Well, as it turns out, and we talked about this before as well, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the screen in Experts Exchange, the answers are posted down there. So you just have to basically scroll down past all the junk that's telling you have to sign up and pay money, and then you get the answers. The reason I'm bringing this up again is because even though I don't like how they do that, Experts Exchange really has good answers. It's always very relevant, and there's people in those forums that do pretty good. There's some forums, like, for example, Yahoo Answers is the most ridiculous forum for computer troubleshooting I've ever seen. People post up there, my DVD player is not working. I removed my DVD player. Now I can't play DVDs. Answer: put your DVD player back in and you can play DVDs. Or another one's like, I have a problem with my computer. I'm running Windows. I get an error on Internet Explorer. And in Yahoo Answers, everybody goes, you just do a reinstall. You got to reinstall the whole operating system and format the hard drive. You're going to lose everything. And this idiot always picks that as the best answer. It's ridiculous. There must be people just trying to game the system in Yahoo Answers, because it is ridiculous. Maybe every once in a while you get a good answer, but it's pretty bad. Anyway, Experts Exchange is good, except for the trickery of having them try to make you think you have to pay for the answer. Next one. Don't know if you guys have ever encountered this. If you're loading Windows XP and it loads, it gets through the whole installation process, and then it starts up, and you look at the screen and you don't see the nice green background with the green hill, and you don't see the blue bar at the bottom. It's gray. It looks like Windows 2000. If this happens, you're also probably going to notice that if you go looking for Internet Explorer, it's not there. There's that little globe icon in the place wherever it says Internet Explorer would be. There's a little globe that just says Internet. This means that Windows did not load properly. It doesn't mean that because you're on a certain system, it's loading certain settings. It means that Windows did not load properly. It's happened a couple times. You got to be careful. And if you keep that installation on there, you're going to run into problems in the future because it's missing vital files. It's missing like Internet Explorer. It's missing different things that will allow you to actually function properly with that Windows. So if you ever did load Windows and you notice, why isn't the taskbar at the bottom blue, and where's the green background or the background with the valley and the hills and all that stuff? If you don't see those things, then you know that there's a problem. Now, this is with an OEM version of Windows, not with like doing something out of the recovery console.